welcome to the next episode of our handwriting practice, and in today's video I am going to show you something called valleys pattern. Yes, in the previous video I showed you the mountain pattern where we went up with the curves like in the mountain, and now we are going to go down like as in the valley. So these valley patterns will be useful for you while writing the letters like W and U. So I'm going to show you how to write these valley patterns for the first 3 lines for the big pattern and in the middle 2 lines for the small patterns. So shall we start now? Okay, so for writing this pattern, I want you all to keep your pencil on the top line of your full line note. Draw a downward curve, make it into a U and make that U into a W and just keep rolling with that pattern. Make sure that your gaps are similar, same, and don't leave too much gap or too less gap between each of the patterns, and don't leave any gaps within the first and the second line. Now, some of the general mistakes that you might make with these valley patterns is you might make it too broad, or you might make it too narrow, or you might go beyond the line, above the line, or below the line, or sometimes you might leave a gap between each of your patterns. So avoid these kinds of mistakes and try to keep up with the pattern till from the beginning of a line to the end of a line. I want you all to practice this for a whole page. Now next I'm going to show you how to do the same pattern for the middle 2 lines, which is what is more important as we are going to be using it for letters like W and U's in a lot of places. So for writing the same pattern in the middle 2 lines, as I told you, writing something in a big manner is easier compared to writing something in a small manner. So have more patience when you're writing it within the middle 2 lines and follow the same technique. So you start with the second line and you draw a curve down and you make it into a U and you make that U into a W, and then you keep rolling with that pattern. We're going to do the same thing, but as you can notice, I'm taking more time in writing these small patterns than I took for writing the big patterns because it needs more patience to do this. And just keep rolling with that pattern and make sure that your valleys are curved in the third line. Don't make it too narrow in the third line, because if you do it like that, it will look like a V and it will not look like a W or a U. Okay, so if you make it too narrow like this, it will become a V pattern, and make sure that your patterns stay within the lines. It should not go beyond the line. So take as much time as you need and let your patterns be curved like this and let it not be. And as you're doing these patterns, make sure that all of your patterns are slanted towards the right side. Otherwise, the whole purpose of practicing cursive handwriting will be lost. Now, anyone can do it in a straight manner, but that's not what we are practicing here. So for cursive, your pattern, your letters, everything should be in a slanted position. So make sure that whatever that you do remains in that slanted position. You should not go back to the straight position, otherwise the whole purpose will be lost.